time has come, 9:30. Will the delegate assembly please come to order? Captain Palenzuela, would you please lead us in the pledge?
My pleasure. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would you please be looking at the minutes? And I will shortly call for any corrections. But in the meanwhile, we have busy deputies here, and we will ask for the law enforcement report. Sir.
Thanks, Dave. Just want to say good morning to everyone here at Century Village. Good morning, everyone, on behalf of the Sheriff's Office. So our law enforcement report is going to be pretty quick. January was a quiet month, fortunately. We just want to emphasize traffic safety. We led a big push in January to try to get traffic safety in everybody's minds. So we stepped up enforcement efforts, and that's not to punish anyone or to just some accountability when you're on your roadways in here in Century Village. Speeding, violating traffic control devices, that's a big deal. We had a couple crashes. Fortunately, our guys were in here, and in spite of our best efforts, you're still going to have crashes. Not only make sure that you do what you need to do, but when you're behind the wheel, inspect your vehicles, make sure that they're safe, make sure your tires are good, make sure that your brakes are good. Sometimes we take those things for granted. We're getting a lot of rain now, even though we're not in our typical rainy season, and that does affect the roadway. So just watch out for yourselves and your neighbors. And I'll turn it over to Lieutenant Hill.
Morning, everyone. Sorry I missed last month. I was out of town. Happy New Year. A little late. We had one vehicle burglary reported sometime and it was actually reported on the 1st of the month. Unlocked car, somebody's gym bag was taken out. We had a resident reported a residential burglary. She said that she had some jewelry items missing from the home. There was no forced entry, but she was under the belief it was a burglary, so we wrote it as such. We had 3 fraud cases. One of them, which a resident has a small business and discovered that a couple of years ago, actually, somebody opened some accounts using their business information, and it finally surfaced on his credit reports. We had another victim reported that she was checking her credit score and saw it had gone down. The same thing, somebody had fraudulently opened some accounts with her information. Once again, we continue to stress you have to keep an eye on those and watch for that kind of stuff. The last case reported was a resident had a cleaning company in doing some work on their unit, and they were asked to initial some lines on a contract that they didn't really read, and they had some unexpected charges come up. We had 3 or 4 thefts. We had 2 bicycles reported stolen, both of which one was tied with a rope and one was left unsecured completely. One of the HOAs reported some money missing from a laundry vending machine, and 2 car tags were reported stolen somewhere during the month. Not even sure if they happened here, but they were reported stolen. So overall, good month, 426 total calls and 62 written reports of one type or another. Obviously, if you've been around, you've seen the traffic activity. We stepped up. 136 traffic stops, 59 warnings, 72 citations. I'll pass that along to the guys. Thank you. And nine verbal warnings, and unfortunately, like I said, we had a couple of minor wrecks. So hopefully, everybody, we got some attention here. So please, slow down just a little bit. Stop signs are there for a reason. We do ask you to follow them. Does anybody have any questions for me? Yes, ma'am.
A question about cars that are left here that are from out of state. In the state of Massachusetts, it's necessary to have a state inspection. in order to get your registration, your license and all. And if a car is left here from Massachusetts and doesn't have the state inspection, is that allowed?
We don't have an inspection in Florida. And I assume you're talking about in the parking lot of one of the units? Those are all private property. All those parking areas are not public. So that would be up to your local board to determine if they have a, proper posting for towing abandoned cars or things like that.
How much is a stop sign violation?
A lot.
$166.
It's 186 for a moving violation. And unfortunately, that's not the worst of it. The worst of it's going to be when you get your car insurance. The points that go on your license and your car insurance will likely increase as you get violations. So, there's more than just that initial sting. It's a gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, question here. When you have a red light with an arrow to the right, can you go in red after stopping? When you have a red
Is the arrow red? If the arrow is red, no. Yeah, red means no. Anyone else? Yes, sir.
Are you going to be enforcing the law here that you should have your lights on when your windshield wipers are on?
That is a statute, so yes, you could get stopped for that. Yeah, lights on when it's raining and your wipers are on. Yes, ma'am. I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
What happens when you're in the crosswalk? Are you supposed to stop there?
You stop before the crosswalk. Pedestrians have the right of way. Yeah, yeah. If you're in the crosswalk, yeah, they're supposed to stop. Anyone else? Way in the back. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, what about flashing red arrows? I've seen those. Flashing yellow, I presume means go ahead and all is well. But flashing red arrows, that's something new. I've never seen those before.
Where did you see that? I'm not.
It was on Congressman Boulevard.
Maybe it's cycling or what. I've never seen a flashing red arrow, but generally, red means don't go. Best rule of thumb: red, don't go. Anyone else? Yes, ma'am.
Carolyn, we can't hear a thing you're saying.
Is there a specific violation for people backing their vehicles into their parking space along the units, not necessarily?
No, the units, parking lots are private property. We don't control that.
So it's not a violation.
No. Yes, sir. We'll do whatever we can. Yeah, we gave you a lot of attention this month. We try. Unfortunately, I have to spread that around to other communities as well, but it's like a traveling roadshow. We'll be back. Anyone else? All right. We'll see you this afternoon.
Yes, thank you, and of course, you are, as always, welcome to our security committee meeting this afternoon.
We'll be there.
All right? All right. All right. Okey doke. Thank you. Have you had a chance to look over the minutes? And are there any corrections to be presented to the minutes? Randall.
Good morning, David. Good morning, everybody. Under committee reports, a couple pages in, under Anita Buchanan Advisory Committee, I don't think she would have said that a bylaw amendment needs to be published for 2 months before it can be approved. I don't think, Anita, you'd say that, so I'd ask for that correction and take out the 2 months and say it needs to be published before being approved by the delegate assembly. All right?
Thank you. Thank you. Any other corrections to the minutes? Randall? Oh, I thought you had something. Oh, okay. All right. Seeing none other, the minutes will be approved as corrected. I'm making an assumption that we have a quorum. I don't have the numbers yet, but they should be here shortly. Mr. Grossman, he's waving a recorder at us. Okay, thank you. And of course, we're putting this on video. Yes. Law enforcement. Now, I'd like to bring up a couple of interesting speakers just for 3 minutes. We have Kathy Sreenan here for the Southeast Florida Honor Flight, which we have regularly supported. Is Kathy here? Please come. You have 3 minutes.
Good morning, everybody. Can I have a show of hands of how many veterans we have here today? Oh my gosh. Wow. Thank you all. Thank you all for your service. Southeast Florida Honor Flight is one of 9 chapters in Florida and one of 133 across the nation. We are devoted to flying our World War II, Korean War, and Vietnam War veterans to Washington, D.C. for the day to visit and reflect at their memorials. And so what we do is we find these veterans in our local area, which is from Indian River County through Palm Beach County, and we take about 82 veterans and 82 guardians. Every single veteran is assigned a guardian to be their escort for the day. And we charter an American Airlines A321, and we spend the entire day in Washington honoring these veterans for their service and sacrifices. And so, number one, we look for, if you know of any World War II, and believe me, there are still wonderful World War II veterans out there that are still flying with us. In fact, on our April flight, we have probably 25 World War II veterans. And we're looking for World War II veterans and also those who served in the Korean War. And now we are starting to, thankfully, we're getting to our Vietnam War veterans, honoring them. Our last flight in October, for the first time, we took 26 Vietnam War veterans. And believe me, it is such a privilege to honor them, especially after they came home and were not treated very well. It is a very special day for the veterans. It is a healing day. They're with their brothers in arms. The comments and the joy from these veterans spending this day together is really amazing. I've heard it so many times. I don't even ask them, but so many say that besides the day they got married and the birth of their children, it's the best day of their life. So anyway, we do 4 flights a year, one in April, May, September, and October. And we need, obviously, some donations. It's a private organization, 100% volunteer. And we are very lucky that that your organization has been supportive in the past, and hopefully that will continue in the future. But really, if you know of any veterans that could benefit from going on their honor flight, or if there are any here, we just need the veterans to fill out a veteran application form, which can be found on our website. I'm going to give Louise...
That's our friendly 3-minute warning.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, Louise has all the information if you need any further information on our flight. All right, thank you for having me here today.
Thank you, Kathy. Now, we also have another person I think many of you baseball fans will find interesting, Danielle Kenny, representing the baseball park of the Palm Beaches. I'm not sure of its exact name now, but go ahead.
Fit Team Ballpark of the Palm Beaches is the exact name.
Okay.
You all know it as, just down the road. Spring training to the Houston Astros and the Washington Nationals. We have a few days that we've coordinated for Century Village to come down to the park, specifically March 25th. That will be the Mets at the Astros. Some really great discounts. You probably have seen these flyers around the community. March 25th, we'll also have a gentleman from Century Village that will be singing the national anthem on that particular day. You can sign up for the buses 2 weeks out before the game. There are a couple additional games. The March 5th game will be the Red Sox at the Nationals, and the March 20th game will be the Yankees at the Astros. Pretty popular games, yes. You have a few ways to order. You can call my associate Farida at the box office. The phone number is listed on this flyer. She's spoken with many of you already. She spoke with everybody last year for signing up as well, so very helpful. She'll get you whatever you need. You can also go online and put a code in that's also listed on this flyer if you'd like to go that route. Sure. It is 561-440-1097. And that goes directly to Farida, and she's expecting your call. Yes? There is, yes, good question. There is a dedicated area. We're going to try and keep all of your seats together as best as possible. I think right now for the March 25th game, we're at about 50 or 60 people so far. Yes, we're keeping everybody's seats together. Same for the other days. Of course, the Red Sox game and the Yankees game are very popular, so that one will be a little trickier, but we're trying. We're going to try to keep you together as best we can. That's why we have one person dedicated to seating. I am sorry, you are right. February 25th, my apologies. That will be the game where your the national anthem, the Century Village Day, that's the biggest discount on tickets. Yes, February 25th, and that's the Mets at the Astros. Any other questions? Feel free to call us with any questions as well. Yes. February 23rd is opening day, and it goes until March 24th. So it's a full 30 days of 30 games.
30 openings.
Yes.
Very good.
Absolutely. Good question. Can you bring a guest at the same discount? Yes. Call us up. I live in Century Village. I'm bringing 4 people. No problem. Everybody will get the same discount. Yes. Just magic word, Century Village, and we'll take care of you. Okay? Thank you all for having me.
Thank you, Danielle. There's a great deal of interest in this. Take me out to the ball game. All right. That brings us to Treasurer's Report, and I don't see Ed, but I see Sebastian.
Good evening, everyone. Or good morning, sorry. It's been a long week. So if you'll notice in your packages, you have the 2018 estimated numbers. As we close out January, we'll correct any timing issues, but I just wanted to hit on a few points. The first one is for the budget for income. By the end of 2018, we show about $10,000 above budget for what we collected in income. And for expenses, we paid out $94,000 less than we thought we would. Again, as we close out January, we'll go and correct those if there are any. And we also have coordinated with the auditor to turn over the information next week. So again, just like last year, we're going to be turning it in early, so that way they can do what they need to do to produce the audit. A few other things I wanted to note. So at the last delegate meeting, we had broken off our relationship with the copier lease, HGI, and have been maintaining the copier ourselves, using independent contractors just to repair it to save a little bit of money. So far, that has worked out extremely well. These service contracts that they have for copy machines can become outrageously expensive, and by handling it internally has definitely produced a savings so far. The other thing that I wanted to mention is at the last delegate meeting, we talked about moving the reserve money to have still full liquidity and still operate FDIC insured. And as of right now, we project the 2019 interest is going to be about $109,000, $110,000, right in that range. So that will be a nice addition to hopefully lower the amount of assessments that would need to be done on the community. So that is good. The other thing that, as we still continue the closeout, for the reporter, we netted positive, which was good. We hope that that percentage will increase for 2019. We're seeing some positive changes there that are definitely going in the right direction to make it easier for the advertisers and things like that, and to speed it up and make it a little bit more efficient. And the last was the investigations. I put in the 2017 investigations as well as the 2018. I thought it would be good to kind of showcase that we're averaging anywhere between 22 and 24% surplus from investigations, so that's good. So that shows that out of all the investigations that are happening, we're getting anywhere between 22 and 24 that we can start applying to the 2019-2020 budget to show what those averages on the surplus are. Do I have any questions about 2018's financials or anything from the prior 2017?
No questions, no.
Thank you, everyone. Oh, sorry, we do have one question.
On the investigation surplus, there used to be a limit of 40,000. I think once you reach it, then you don't take any more. Is it still on?
I don't know of that rule. You said that once you
Well,
reach...
it used to be a while ago. I can't remember the years, but there was a limit. If there's no limit, how much do we have surplus, which is supposed to be used for legal or whatever comes up?
I'll go ahead and find out. And you said that was if you reached a 40,000 surplus?
It used to be, yes. I remember a long time ago, yes.
I'll go ahead and I'll look into that, and then I'll bring that up at the next delegate meeting.
And what do we do if we just go over it? I mean, what do we do with the money?
Well, we didn't go over it for 2018, so it may not apply. But for 2019, at least if we can find that answer, that will be good. Great. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Sebastian. The sign-in sheets numbers are in. We have 170 signed-in delegates. Thank you very much. We clearly have a quorum because we do have a vote, I believe, or two to take today that are important. This brings us to officers' reports. And I want to start with a few comments on recent events that put a lot of people into deep spilkas. And that was the major failure of Comcast. First, I want to say a lot of folks came to me, and, oh, the internet's gone down. Well, the internet hasn't gone down. Internet is a lot bigger than Comcast, but Comcast went down in spades with at least two major fiber line cuts. It was not just here in Century Village. It was scattered across the whole country, and it is being investigated at the federal level as possible sabotage. It has not been confirmed as that. But a lot of people, and I experienced it in my building, TV's gone, internet's gone, and if you've taken the telephone package, which is what's called VoIP, Voice over Internet Protocol, digital telephony, that's gone. Now, this is a major issue for some people. No 911, no calls to family. You are communications dark. Now, what can you do about that? All right. You can go retro-tech to something called POTS. Everybody know the term POTS? Well, POTS is plain old telephone service. The great big boat anchor you used to plug into the wall. And that is still available. That is, in essence, analog telephony, and it very rarely fails because that whole network is backed up by great big batteries and generators, and there's a low voltage 48-volt power supply on the line. I have always recommended, I'm sure you've heard me say this, seniors, myself included, should have a POTS line, something that is, it's the cheapest, and don't get any tchotchkes and add-ons, just get the basic Lifeline service from Ma Bell that you plug into the wall. And it will support voice, it will support fax, it will even support 56 kilobit internet, but you won't be happy with that. So that's really what I wanted to say. I know a lot of people were very unhappy. Now, there are other networks, all right? This solution gets pricey. You could have another network as a backup. You know, it's money. It's always money.